Have you ever been absolutely stuck with how you were going to organize something, declutter something? You feel that sense of overwhelm, that there's just no way you can get it done? I've definitely been there. I am a neurozesty coach. I help people who are neurodivergent, including ADHD, and my flavor is ADHD. Um, so I want to talk about body doubling and why it's super helpful for people who are neurodivergent or maybe just overwhelmed today with a task and they're having trouble getting it done. So one of the big things I really, really believe in is body doubling. And you're probably saying, what is that? So I'm going to kind of take you through that, what it is. It was spoken about quite a bit in a book called ADD Friendly Ways to Organize Your Life, which was written by Judith Kohlberg and Dr. Kathleen Nadeau. Judith Kohlberg, a pillar in the world of organizing, Kathleen Nadeau, a pillar in the world of ADHD. Two brilliant minds came together to write this book. This book is not new. It doesn't need to be new because it's got time-tested strategies. So enough on the book. They talk about body doubling, and what they were talking about in reference to was specifically around organizing. Let's say you've got a messy room and you're struggling to get it done. A body double would just be someone who is in the room doing either something different or just sitting to keep you company. And I want to talk about how you choose that body double because it's really, really important. So as many of you know, we have recently moved from Fairfield, Connecticut to Fenwick Island, Delaware. And I'm going to go way back in time to when we lived in Silver Mine at Tenenham's Lane in Norwalk, which we loved living there. We sold our house and then had 60 days to find a new home. It was interesting. And pack everything we owned and get it put away while simultaneously having a 6-7-year-old. And I was running my own, at the time, interior design businesses before I became a coach. So we were juggling a lot of balls and not really being as forward thinking. I did not hire a lot of help to help me get organized, clean out, declutter, whatever. And so everything came to our new house. And we got to 9 Schiller Road, which was a smaller house. And we often call it a downsize, not a downgrade, because we still had a lovely chef-style kitchen. My husband and I both cook. And we really made that house a home, and we just loved it. It was wonderful. We did downsize because we realized we only had one kid and we weren't going to have more. So we didn't need a 4-bedroom house. 9 Schiller Road had the option to become a 4-bedroom if it needed, but we just never did that. It's more like there's an in-law apartment downstairs. Anyway, I don't want to digress too much. We were standing in the driveway. I was standing in the driveway, checking off all the boxes that were coming in. And that particular move, we had 18 containers of stuff, which is pretty much, I think, 2 trucks worth. It was insane. It was in containers because we had 10 days between the day we closed on the house we were selling and the house we were buying. So for 10 days, all our stuff went into storage in these containers. And then in those 10 days, anything that wasn't allowed to go on the truck, plus some clothes. And by the way, the funniest part of this is I didn't bring any winter socks, and time changed. It was October, so it got to get very cold. And we had to go through boxes to find socks. It was very funny. I ended up just buying some socks. So at any rate, we had this 10-day time frame in between. So the containers arrive on the truck to our home in Fairfield, Connecticut. And we get to the 18th container and the house is chock full. I have no idea where this 18th container is going. Remember, we downsized, right? By about 1,000 square feet. So it was a sizable downsize. And I was in a panic. I mean, I was literally standing in the driveway, crying, where are we going to put the stuff? Thankfully, the last container was filled with everything pink, which was our daughter's, which meant, unbeknownst to me, our daughter's room was still completely empty and all that stuff was going to go in her room. Save the day. Everything was well. However, I swore I would never put myself through that experience again, that I would clean out, I would organize, I would declutter, I would not have so many things in the next move. By the way, the next move, which included, it just happened, included all our artwork, which, by the way, we moved ourselves for the prior move. That next move was actually less money 14 years later. That's how much stuff we got rid of. We really rocked and rolled on getting rid of stuff. The only thing we moved down here ourselves was some of my husband's hobby stuff. So he really wanted to move that himself. So we brought a little minivan down at some point and offloaded that. And then I won't get into that story. I'm going to digress again. Hello, ADHD. So body doubling. So I made sure to have people who would help me while I organized and decluttered. And for about 2-3 years, I worked on this, probably 1 or 2 weekends a month for like 3 hours at a time. So pointer number 1, know your energy levels. For me, after 3 hours, I'm distracted. I'm done. I don't want to do another thing. Absolutely not. Go away. Get out of my house. So I learned the best bet was to schedule 1 or 2 Saturdays a month. Ariella would come over and we would organize and declutter the house. I did not need to hire a professional organizer. You might. I'm a big fan of hiring professional organizers. I'll get to that. I didn't in this instance because I know how to organize, because it's what I do for a living. But I am notoriously extrinsically motivated, meaning I need external supports to get things done, to get motivated to do things. So part 2, make sure you get someone who understands your energy levels and you yourself understand your energy levels so that you don't overwhelm yourself. So if I'm taking this to a business level, which I'll do more at the end, my group of people in my accountability group, they all want a 50-minute focused sprint of work. That body doubling co-working time is for 50 minutes instead of the usual 25 Pomodoro method. So we do double that amount of time. That's what we realized was like a great focus window for us. Okay, back to organizing and decluttering. So you want someone who understands your energy flow and will work within the time period you want. Like I said, I did not have to hire a professional organizer. I did for some other things, which I'll get to in a sec. If you're like me and you can't do more than 3 hours, chunk it down, just do the amount of time you can do. If you're doing it yourself and you want to just kind of get motivated and get started, just set a timer for 10 minutes. But I really, really strongly advise bring in someone who's a body double, maybe to your neighbor. You know, if you don't want to spend the money to bring in an organizer or somebody else, grab your neighbor and say, hey, I'll help you organize the kitchen if you help me organize my closet. I'm making stuff up. So that's what we did. We did that over a 3-year time period. We kept organizing and organizing. Then when we made the decision to move, we way upped our game and did more and more. And in fact, at one point, Ariella got deeply involved in a huge project and couldn't do it for me anymore. And I brought somebody else in. At the same time, knowing we were getting near the end and having hired Matt Byers' team, who's fabulous professional organizers out of Stamford, Connecticut, to do our garage several years earlier, I contacted Matt and I said, hey, weird question. Does your team do organizing and decluttering and packing? And he said, yes. So what I did was I scheduled Matt's team to come in and do that for us for 2 days, 6-hour sprints. Oh my God. But they're awesome because they like send you off for an hour or two and get things ready. And it's a really great working experience. So we did that. And what was great was this time around, I really planned when I was going to do what so that I would not overwhelm myself with the packing and organizing and getting out the door. So in essence, that team was my body doubling team at that time. And they were fantastic, like I said. So the professional organizer, recognize your energy and your time constraints, block the time out. And then there was one more thing, and it's going out of my head. Make sure the people who you are surrounding yourself with are really supportive. Oh my God, this is the most important point. It's not enough to just have like a supportive environment, i.e. decluttered, you can find everything else. Part of support looks like who's in your circle, who's around you. So the reason I bring this up is because it happened yesterday. I was here with Lexi, who helps me with cleaning and stuff around here. She's been helping me organize, and she's really fun. Like we were unpacking all the kitchen supplies and things, and we discovered that we probably have enough cleaning supplies in this household to last for several years, which is ridiculous. But we were combining a Connecticut household and a Delaware household, so it's kind of like twice the cleaning supplies. She said, I'm just going to put these things under the various sinks and set it up. And I said, well, great. It was wonderful. She really gets my mindset. She knows where I want things. She's been wonderful to help me with knowing what to go where. Where she's the best for support, and this is really, really important. I had a neighbor over, and she was all excited. She really wants to help me organize. She loves to keep things. Do not have someone body double with you who wants to keep things, because the whole point of having that person with you is so that they can encourage you gently to let things go. So there was a shower curtain downstairs, and I had set it aside, and it's got like turtles. I don't know, it's sea themed, whatever, greens and blues. And I had said, this is a really beautiful shower curtain. By the way, like a cotton shower. It's a good one. Cotton shower curtain. And I thought, when the old shower curtain's done, we'll put that one up, etc. And yesterday I came across yet another one. And you should know that some of these shower curtains came from a different place. So there's just like everything converged here. It's just insanity how much stuff landed here. And we really had to clean out this house to make room for stuff from Fairfield. Anyways, there's this really beautiful shower curtain, and I'm just agonizing over like, which one do I keep? Do I keep the one that's more plain with the stripes? Do I keep the one with the turtles and the fish? Or do I keep both? And I'm like, I'm going to keep both. And Lexi just looked at me. She's like, really? And I'm like, all right, fine. And I handed her the one with the turtles, which, by the way, will be at Goodwill inland somewhere here in Delaware. I can't remember where Goodwill is. Later today, because we're getting rid of it this afternoon. Make sure when you choose people who are going to help you by being your body doubles, that they are supportive people. They're going to help you move your goals forward. Okay, all of that to say, I am hosting, let me put it up, a webinar. I'm actually hosting, it's really a masterclass. I'm hosting two of them, the same exact one, 2 different days. It's called Start, Stop, Repeat. And it's all about the myths around the ADHD brain. And it's all about how you deal with them. And one of those things you can do to help you with executive function challenges, with productivity challenges, especially if you have an ADHD brain, is to bring in body doubles, right? To have that support. I mean, I run an accountability group. Any of my coaching clients get to come to those co-working sessions, which, by the way, I hold at least 3 times a week, usually 4, sometimes 5. Like this week, I think we're meeting a 5th time. So if you are someone who really wants to learn more about your ADHD brain and get some strategies on how to manage your productivity and frankly, get back your life, because it's not just about productivity, right? It's also about having a decent personal life. You're going to want to attend this. So it's got a weird name. bit.ly/SSR APR 25. So SSR is start, stop, repeat. APR is April, and 25 is the year. So the date of this event is, I'm going to do this from memory, Monday, April 21st at 5 p.m. Eastern. I was trying to do one that's West Coast friendly. And then the very next day, Tuesday, April 22nd, which is Earth Day, and also my husband's birthday, at 11 a.m. Eastern time, which will help anyone. I actually have European clients. So my West Coast folks, 5 p.m. Monday, April 21st. My European and East Coast folks, 11 a.m. Tuesday, April 22nd. By the way, either coast, if you want to comment 8 a.m. and you're on the West Coast, be my guest. I have no issue with that. That's 8 a.m. Pacific time. Okay, that's it. Would love to see you in my master class, because we are going to actually do a thing. We're going to workshop one of the myths as SSRA PR 25 in the bit.ly link. Start, stop, repeat. Would love to see you there. When you do the forum, you'll see that it gives you the options of choosing a date. So choose your date so you get the right reminders. Check out Body Doubling. Let me know how it goes. See you soon. In the meantime, stay zen and zesty.